What if reality is not as solid, predictable, and stable as we think? Today, I want to guide you through a fresh set of strange discoveries, unanswered scientific questions, psychological twists, and realistic, what-if scenarios that could reshape how you understand yourself and the world around you. By the end, I'll share my personal conclusion, one that becomes harder to ignore the deeper you think about it. Let's begin with something unsettling but fascinating. What if your brain is not designed to show you the truth? There is a scientific theory called the interface theory of perception that suggests humans don't see reality, only symbols that help us survive. Just like you click icons on a computer, not raw data, your senses show you a simplified version of the world. Colors, sounds, objects, all are interpretations, not reality. What if nothing around you looks the way it truly is? Personally, I think we are walking through life using a simplified user interface, not the full program. Here's a strange thought. What if you are not one person, but many? Psychologists discovered that humans have multiple selves. There is the present self, the future self, the past self, the emotional self, and the logical self. They each want different things, and they argue constantly inside your mind. That's why you set goals at night and break them in the morning. So what if your identity is a committee, not an individual? I believe this explains why self-control is so difficult. It's not one voice you're battling, it's all of them. Now consider this. Your brain erases most of your day before you even fall asleep. Humans forget 80% of daily experiences because the brain saves only emotionally charged or survival-relevant information. That means most of your life never becomes memory. What if you're living in a giant filter that saves only highlights? I think this shows how fragile and selective our personal history is. Let's take a turn. Did you know that your mind can hallucinate sound? When you think someone called your name, but no one did, it's not imagination, it's your brain predicting vibrations based on patterns. Your mind constantly anticipates the future and sometimes gets it wrong. What if your daily life is filled with tiny hallucinations you don't even notice? My view, the brain is a prediction machine, and reality is just what remains after those predictions fail. Here's another, what if? What if your body has a memory of its own? Your muscles, organs, and immune system remember emotions and experiences chemically. That's why you feel sadness in the chest, stress in the stomach, or anxiety in your hands. Your body keeps score even when the mind forgets. What if emotional healing is more physical than psychological? I think the mind and body are far more connected than we admit. Let's step into physics for a moment. Did you know atoms are almost entirely empty space? If the nucleus of an atom were the size of a coin, the nearest electron would be dozens of meters away. So technically, everything around you, tables, walls, your own body, is mostly nothing. What if solidity is an illusion created by electromagnetic repulsion? Personally, I find it fascinating that the solid world we depend on is built from emptiness. Here's something even stranger. Humans experience reality with a delay. Everything you see and hear is already in the past by about 80 milliseconds. Your brain needs time to process signals. But instead of showing you the delay, it blends everything into a smooth, continuous experience. What if your consciousness is always a little behind? I think this delay protects us from sensory overload but also means we never truly feel the present. Now imagine this scenario. What if humans had the ability to pause consciousness? Animals like dolphins and birds can sleep with half of their brain awake. If humans could do this, we would never truly be tired. But would we ever rest emotionally? I think such an ability would push people to their mental limits, not save them from exhaustion. Let's talk about a psychological phenomenon called cryptomnesia. It happens when you think you created an idea, but you actually heard it long ago and forgot the source. Your brain disguises an old memory as a new invention. What if originality is often recycled memory? Personally, I think humans underestimate how connected and shared our thoughts really are. Now here's a surprising fact. Humans constantly generate a magnetic field. Your heart produces an electromagnetic pulse that extends several meters around your body. People subconsciously react to each other's fields. That's why you can feel someone walk into the room. What if human interaction is partly energetic, not just psychological? My opinion is that we communicate far more with our bodies than with words. Let's go deeper into the unconscious mind. Did you know your brain creates versions of other people inside your head? It stores models of how friends, family, and even strangers behave. When you imagine a conversation, you are actually talking to these inner models. What if your mind is populated by digital copies of everyone you've ever known? Personally, I think this internal world shapes our social lives more than real interactions do. Here's a strange biological fact. Your body replaces 330 billion cells every day. In 1 year, 98% of your atoms are new. So you are physically not the same person you were last year. What if identity is more fluid than we think? I believe this proves that change is not something we do, it's something we are constantly going through. Let's move into a cosmic what if. What if the universe has an edge? Some scientists believe the cosmos might be finite and curved, like the surface of a sphere. If you traveled far enough in a straight line, you could theoretically end up back where you started. What if space loops around? Personally, I think the universe is stranger than any shape we can imagine. Now imagine this. What if thoughts have mass? Some physicists suggest that information itself is physical. That would mean every idea adds a tiny amount of mass to the universe. What if thinking literally changes reality, even at a microscopic scale? I think this would explain why consciousness feels so powerful. Let's explore dreams. Most dreams last only a few seconds, even if they feel long. Your brain compresses time inside dreams, allowing entire events to unfold instantly. What if dreams are your mind testing rapid simulations to help you survive? Personally, I think dreams are training grounds for your subconscious. And last, here's my closing thought. What if life is not about discovering reality, but creating it? Everything you feel, remember, believe, fear, and hope for, all of it shapes the world you experience. Humans are not just observers, we are co-creators. And the more we understand our minds, the more the world opens itself to us. So the real question is, which reality are you choosing to create?